Hello, footies, and welcome back to another episode of Foot in Review Shorts. Today is Monday, October the 14th. My name is John, and together with my dear friend James,
Hello.
we'll be talking you through the release content of this weekend. And as a focus topic, we discuss evolutions. Jameson, how's your
Hello.
foot weekend been after going on another show this Friday talking about a broken ladder?
I then experienced the broken ladder and had my worst weekend of foot since I started playing the game, which wasn't all that long ago, really.
Yeah,
It was soul destroying.
Yeah, it's was interesting to experience it from the other side. Let's put it like this.
Yeah, I think I went about 20 games, and the best result I got in those 20 games was like a couple of draws. And then I finally broke through, got a couple of wins. I got to like 30 points, I think it is, for the Rivals rewards in like 1.5 to 2 hour sessions of playing the game last week. And then it took me the entire weekend to get me the remaining 15 points.
And although this extremely sucks for you,
Yep.
there's something we've proven by doing
What's
this
that?
experiment. DDA does not exist.
Oh no, DDA doesn't exist. If it did, it would have helped me at some point. Or if it exists and it exists in a different game mode, it doesn't exist in Foot because there's no way it would let you suffer like that, surely. And boy, did I suffer.
You even put the mood lighting on if people are watching the video show. Oh boy. I feel for you though. I can't say I've had the same experience, although I did not play Weekend League this weekend. But we'll talk about that on a later show because I think there's something in moderating the time you actually spend on competitive modes in this game.
Yeah.
But that's a topic for a new show. James, today we'll be discussing the great Gutty evolution and evolution in generally, but we'll finish on that note because we also got a mini release. We also have two SBCs, one big name, one maybe a pretty cool player. So where do you want to start today?
Let's start with the SBC for Iwobi.
Iwobi it is. If you're looking at the video show we put, of course, on YouTube and Spotify, you can also see him in front of you. Iwobi is an 86 rated right midfielder that can also play center midfield, can also play left midfield, and can also play right winger. He comes in about 53,000 coins. He has a 4-star skill move, 3-star weak foot. Of course, he plays at Fulham in the Premier League. Interesting to see is I think he's tall. Yeah, he's tall and normal. He's got a winger plus on the right midfielder, a winger wide playmaker on the right midfielder, and a wide playmaker plus, of course, on the left midfielder. So that's already a little bit better about things we discussed last week, James.
Yep.
No playstyle plus, but he has a financial tipping pass, the flair, the technical, and boom, relentless. What do you think about a 50k costing Iwobi card?
I like him. I think he'd be certainly for my team. He's a Premier League player, so he slots in. My team is broadly Premier League and Serie A, so yeah, he fits for me. I like him. I think he's reasonably priced for what he is. I think having Relentless is nice. That's a play style that I really like because I'm not very good with the substitutions yet. So the longer they can last, the better for me.
Generally speaking, that's always a good thing. But
yeah.
A pretty interesting card, though. I think his dribbling stats for such a tall player are pretty impressive. 95 dribbling, 87 agility, 86 balance, and 88 ball control. And the dude is 6'1".
Pretty quick as well, 86 pace. It's not too slow, really, is it?
No, and you can see that most of the community doesn't exactly know where they want to play this card. Because if you look at his community voting chemistry styles applied, 20% gives him an anchor, making him more of a defensive role. With 74 defensive, I can see if you put him on midfield, an anchor makes sense. But 21% puts him at a hunter to make him more attacking.
Yeah.
You don't see that too often either. So that's pretty interesting fact.
Yeah, he's super balanced, isn't he?
Yeah, except I think his defensive awareness just lacks enough to make him actually viable as a defensive midfielder. That's why as a center midfielder might make more sense. Pretty interesting card. I agree. 50k. Is it a must do? Is it a good do? Or is it stay away?
I don't think he's a must do. I think he's if he's an upgrade for your team, he's worth it. Otherwise maybe not so much. Like someone like yourself, maybe might not fit into your team. I don't know, but for me, someone someone who's not got a great team particularly yet, and has got plenty of spaces for upgrades, and where these SBC players can potentially fit in, then yeah, he's probably worth doing. And I'd imagine there's quite a lot of players that have a strong showing of Premier League players in their teams, so he's easy to slot into probably a lot of players' teams, I'd have thought.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was actually consider doing this card myself.
Okay.
I do think, for example, sometimes I play Ødegaard, and I think he's a little bit weak, and this card sort of makes that a lot better. And I use Thuram, center defense midfielder. I need one mid-center midfielder, actually. This card fits that role. I just wish he had a role on a center midfielder card as well. Basically, you do him a little bit short selling if you put him. But 50k might actually just be worth just doing him. I get 99 players on my SPC's backup thingy now, so might be worth trying him.
I tell you where I do think he would be extremely fun. That's in Rush.
Yeah, I think I agree there.
I think he'd be a great player in Rush. I've not seen a requirement or like one of the little mini objectives for a player from Nigeria, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I don't know if it does. Someone feel free to let us know in the comments or whatever. But
well, there are
like we were talking about on Friday
requirements. So
yeah, I was just going to say, like we were talking about on Friday, it's good to sometimes have some of these players like this just sat in your club ready for, if you're playing Rush and you've got an odd objective within Rush. So yeah, a good Nigerian player that's easy to acquire and cheap, and plus he's just got great stats for Rush. I think he's very balanced. He can do everything, I think, in Rush. So
yeah, no, I definitely agree. And if you are listening or watching the show and you're like, hey, I want to share my opinion about him, about Iwobi, let us know. We had Jarlath Smith saying, for example, on Spotify, saying, I packed a Rush Frankie de Jong card from 85 plus from the season pass. He also asked, what's the thought on Haaland in game? What role do you play in him? I put him as a striker on Poacher++. And Alan Spain reacts to your appearance this Friday, James, saying, I agree, as a newbie, I totally hate the rival system. Same Alan Spain also said, I got Joe Cole from the Hero SPC. So cool. Put in your comments there as well. We'll get it back. If you do an Iwobi, let us know, and we'll also read it out on the show. So we go into Raheem Sterling, perhaps.
Sure. Yeah.
That don't sound too enthusiastic, though.
I know you've got thoughts, so let's go.
All right, Raheem Sterling. He is a 3-star weak foot, 4-star skill move, a right midfielder, striker, or left midfielder, but he only has roles on left midfield and only roles plus. Inside forward, wide playmaker, and wide midfielder plus. This card is pretty fast. This card has pretty good finishing. This card is extremely good on the ball, but I think he's a little bit low on composure. But 96 agility, 95 balance will definitely show on this card. All by all was like this could be a pretty cool card, James. But then I saw he's almost 300,000 credits to do. And I was like, you know what? Paying 280, 300,000 for a 3-star weak foot striker or left midfielder, because if you want anything with this card, honestly, put him as left midfield. Maybe he could cross, but he can't actually cross because he's low vision and low crossing. Relatively speaking, lower crossing. I don't think this is a very good SPC to do, James. But luckily, his playstyles. Oh wait, he doesn't have the playstyle plus either. So,
for me, as somebody new to the game, I look at this and I just think 250 to 300k versus like 60 to 70k for Cole Palmer. Just do Cole Palmer.
Yeah, not much I can add there. I know it's a very controversial opinion, but I think Sterling.
He's lacking a bit of pace. Palmer, that is, compared to Sterling. Sterling's faster. But otherwise, that's just me from the outside looking in as a bit of a newbie. But he would fit into my team as a Premiership player. But he's too expensive for me, at least.
Yeah, and I think his rules will really let him down in this situation.
Yeah.
A bit of a shame, though. But I'd stay away, if I'm honest. Again, I know this will put up some controversy, so let us know in the comments. I'd say, but I'm not sure I'm reading. Oh, by the way, I'm not reading all the comments. I mean, some people are trying to be funny or PMing. I'm not going to read those on there. Don't worry about it. Okay. No, I'm saying a Nate too, Sterling, James.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
All right, so we got we got a could do on Iwobi, a meh, yay, and a nah on Sterling. Mini release, we got 4 new players. Not really extremely enticing players, James. Although there's one player that really stands out for me. We have Bernstein, cool card. I don't think really special. Maybe I'm a little bit sad about that, but okay.
Yeah, we got pace, but
yeah, like it's not a bad card at all, but it's also 18k. It's hard to link as well, by the way.
Yeah.
But then again, roles inside forward on the left winger plus on the right winger. It's a dynamic card, so I quite like that. Plus finishing 92 is pretty good. But then again, 18k. So why could we even complain about cards like this? We got your friend Dovbeek.
Yeah.
Awesome last year. 23k this year. If you have a Serie A team, James, you might have that.
I do have some, yeah.
There's not many good strikers yet. So
no, I like him. I think this card looks good. I think he's missing Relentlessly last year on. I don't know what version of card it was last year, but he was my star striker for a while towards the end of the game, because I hopped in towards the end of the game last year. But yeah, I like him. I think the card's okay. I think it's reasonably priced as well if you're looking for a good striker. Power header's good with aerial. My style of play at the moment with having, I mean, he wouldn't replace Crespo for me, who I was very, very lucky to pack right at the start of the game. But power header and aerial fits in with my style of play at the moment, which is just cross the ball to the striker.
I didn't notice that at all.
Technical as well for his dribbling. Yeah, I think he's
a composure, good and fast, and 90 finishing, 91 shot power. Nothing wrong with this card, James.
No. I like him.
Except he played for the wrong Italian club, but also I'm not.
I'd maybe grab this actually. If I see him for this price or cheaper, I might actually be tempted to grab him as a sub.
Yeah, or whenever you start playing with 2 strikers, for example, it might just fit next to him.
Yeah, or if I need more Serie A players for whatever reason.
Yeah, rush Ukrainian players. You never know.
Yep.
But Dovik is a pretty interesting card. We also had a blind card, which it's blind, but blind being 75 base is as fast as he could ever dream of being. 11k, I don't know. I don't see anyone doing this card. But okay, he's got attack. He's got a card. That's nice, I guess. First style player though, left back and left winger, but he's not fast enough for he's not fast enough for left back. And of course, I mean CDM. You can play him CDM, but he has no rules on CDM, so I wouldn't do it. And no special play styles either. Yeah, this card is 11k. I don't know what the point of the card is, but I wouldn't do him or get him. The one interesting card is though Diego Dalot. 306,000 for a very fast Premier League left and right back. You can play him on both sides. Left back only false back plus, and right back on wing back plus. Be sure about this, James. This is a great card. But I wouldn't go in paying 300,000 for a fullback yet.
Yeah, he's too expensive for me. Yeah. I look at a card like this and I think, why not? If you're gonna, why spend 300,000 on this when you could just buy the gold Alexander-Arnold for now? Like the rate that the game is,
and get Bombastor for 140 or something. Then.
Yeah, the rate that the game's changing, I just don't feel like he offers enough for me at least. But again, I'm just looking at this as a newbie. But yeah,
if you say the rate the game is changing,
just with the cards coming.
Yeah, so you mean like you could basically say like the game's evolving, right?
Yeah. And there's a segue.
There's a segue. We have to talk about evolutions, James.
Yeah, we do, yeah.
Evolutions. I know if you listen to the show, we've literally done hundreds of episodes, and I've said I like the idea and the concept of evolutions, but I don't like spending the time on cards that are probably surpassed the moment I'm actually able to evolutionize them or evolve them. I evolve them. I think that's the proper word.
Yeah.
And I've done 2 this year. Gomez, who got bugged while doing it, and I did Jimenez, who got a special card the moment I fixed him. And that special card was better and free. So I felt I spent my whole time not making sense. I've been critical about evolutions last week as well when they implemented some weird requirements like it needs to be a rare card, for example, meaning you couldn't do chaining. You couldn't chain them with another evolution, which made it hard.
Yeah.
But yesterday, James, took the crown. Is that a English saying as well?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah. I also asked in our Discord, of course, which is free to join, can people say, do you like evolutions? And 44% of the people said, nah, don't really care. 33% of the people said, hey, something, but I'll drop a response. Where people said, I used to love them, but looks like EA is killing them slowly with the requirements. Neuroseed says, I'm in between. I'm not too hyped, but they are okay. And I think JT says they can be fun, but there aren't enough of them, and they aren't powerful enough. And that's basically what I stick on to as well. So yes, just 22% of the people quite like evolutions. What is your general stance on evolution before I talking about this extremely disappointing evolution came out yesterday?
I've only EVO'd 1 card so far, and that was Werner with the Ultimate Player EVO from the pre-order.
And are you still playing him?
Yes, I am still playing him actually, okay. And I really like the card. I really like the player. He does surprisingly well for me for his rating. I think he punches above his rating. He's 82 rated overall. I know that doesn't necessarily paint a full picture because it depends on his other stats and play styles and stuff like that, but I enjoy him. The only thing I'm a little bit annoyed about is that I missed out on a slight Evo chain that I could have done with him that would have made him slightly better. And if I'd have done, I can't remember what the first step was, but if I'd have done the first step before applying then the Ultimate Edition Evo that we got, then I could have made him slightly better. But because I did the Ultimate Edition evolution first, I can't now apply the other one. So I'm kind of stuck with him as he is. So that would have been nice if I'd have known about it because I could have had a go at doing an Evo chain like that, and there seems to be a few of them. But me personally, because of that experience, I'm a little bit reluctant to use them in case I waste them, basically, because I don't want to end up evoing a card that I then regret using that evolution on that card because it might have been better on a different card, or there might have been a chain open up if I'd used it on a different card. So I kind of have like reverse FOMO, basically.
Reverse FOMO. I know how this podcast's gonna be named. Reverse FOMO. James, I'm with you in the boat because that whole experience at the start, evolutioning a final player, and that final player got a special card right after, and Gomez evolutioning, but also there's players came out or a pact that are way better already than him. Spent a decent amount of time doing that. Yeah. Yesterday they came out with the Great Goody evolution.
Mm-hmm.
Nice description. Brings a player closer to the heroic playmaker of Goody, experience unmatched vision and passing as you conquer the patch like a true hero. Nice. 1,200 FIFA points, 65,000 coins to start off with. So to start this evolution, James, it's more expensive than the card that we just talked about, but I forgot his name.
Yeah.
Of course, I should not forget his name. I mean, Iwobi. Let's put it out there. So he's more expensive than Iwobi, okay? It needs to have, but okay, it's expensive, but hey, anyways, that's it. Maximum 82 to start, maximum 84 pace, maximum 7 pace tells, and no rolls plus, can't have any, and it has to be a center midfielder. That's all right, okay? I think.
Yep.
9 overall plus 7 plus pace, 10 shooting, 9 passing, 9 dribbling, 10 defending, and 6 physical. He gets a pink pass, an incisive pass, and a finesse shot. Plus, he gets a playmaker plus. And I was like, James, actually, looking at the example, they put in Mino from United and as an example. And I was like, it's 3 levels, you pay 65,000 the card. Well, you know what? You could make a 77 rated Mino into an 85 rated center defense midfielder. Of midfielder, I should say. Is it then on par with everyone else? I still don't think it's good enough. But I can see the appeal here. But then it came, James. The actual things we have to do for it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be serious here. I'm not evoing any players currently. So I'm not touched by this. But is evolution your cup of tea in this game? This must felt so bad. Because you have to win in total to unlock all 3 levels. You have to 7, you have to do 12 assists, which is fine in the different modes. And you have to win 24 games. I'm going to say that slowly. You need to win 24 games. But James, that's not even all. You have to win those 24 games and these assists in the new Ultimate Team friendly mode, EVO Arena.
Yeah.
It took me more than 5 minutes to get one game in that EVO mode. You need to win 24 games. We are now complaining we need to win 20 or 15 games in Rivals, James.
Yeah.
This is utterly, you're native English. You probably have a better word for it, but ridiculous, I'd say.
Yeah. For the price, why do you have to... You're already overpaying for the end result. Why do you then have to jump through so many hoops?
I don't know. I'm not doing it.
I don't get it. It's kind of my problem with some of the evolutions in general, but at least some of them you can just do it in a squad battle, and you can just go into semi-pro mode.
Or maybe do it in Rush, pick your player and try it.
Yeah, Rush, yeah. But some of them you can do it while you're completing other objectives, like you're doing your weekly squad battles, or even if you've already done your weekly squad battles, you can just, you can go in and just think, well, I've got an hour to kill. I'll just go on semi-pro. That's easy, and I'll just quickly get this player evoed in an hour or whatever. But that 24 games wins specifically, plus the other requirements as well. It's a bit much for me, that. Go on, mate.
No, I think generally speaking, this evolution is totally ridiculous. But this is why I think there's more availability to do things in this game than ever. More modes, more options, and evolution should be an enticing part of it.
Yeah.
And if you talk about FOMO, you said reverse FOMO. I think you nailed it there. If you talk about FOMO, I should feel FOMO for not doing an evolution. All it did over the past week, at least for me, is saying, "Oh, glad I don't spend time on doing evolutions on players." Except for the one time there's an EVO in rush mode. I'm like, "Oh, I wish I had an EVO to make this 5 out of 5 objectives."
Yeah,
but
I wouldn't mind seeing. I mean, my problem with some of them, like I just said, is that you already have to pay quite a bit of money, which, I mean, to be fair, 65k is not a lot to some people in the game, but 65k is a lot to probably quite a lot of the player base, I'd imagine.
It's a good
Certainly your average players. That's a lot of money or a lot of coins. But to have to pay that amount and then jump through so many hoops, like I said, I think that's a problem. And the hoops that you have to jump through aren't particularly enticing. Like, I'd like to see an evolution that is cheaper or free, where the first stage might be, like the first Evo might be play some squad battles semi-pro to get you warmed up with the player. And then the next step might be now win some Evo or play in some Evo, some rush matches. And then the final one might just be, play squad battles or rush matches. But just so you're not just doing the same thing over and over to get a playthrough. Because that's the one thing I found. I did like 2 evolutions last game, and I did that one on Verna this game. And it was just repetitive, is what I found. There's nothing engaging about doing an evolution. You just turn your brain off, stick some music or Netflix on or whatever on in the background, and just grind out some squad battle games. There's nothing else to it. Get some assists, score some goals, whatever it is, play squad battles, and that's it. And I feel like they could be way more inventive with them.
Yeah, or less limited.
Yeah,
to make it more creative to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I mean. Yeah, just open things up a bit more. But yeah, this one in particular, though, I just like you said, you're paying 65k for the privilege to spend time getting a card up to not quite the level of a card that costs 65k.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that makes that's it, right?
Yeah. Unless it ends up being part of a chain later on, but this is the other problem.
Yeah,
you don't know
what. You know that exactly.
You don't know if a chain's coming up. You have no idea.
And if it looks good, and it might be but it has to be a rare card. You're done again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I do know what Crespo and you have in common, though.
What's that?
Your hair.
That's why I like him so much. As soon as he started doing the little walking out of the tunnel, I could see the hair in the silhouette, and I just knew it was going to be a good player.
Thanks, James, for joining me tonight. And let us know again in comments, drop us a message anywhere, socials, whatever, how you feel about EVOs. I think there's so much potential to have fun with these, but it's getting squandered really quickly, just like this. Tomorrow, Tuesday, Daniel will return along with Shack Attack. Nathan is having a week off, so he won't be joining on a Tuesday. Maybe we'll find a third person, but else these two guys will go at it. And they will talk, I think, about a new patch hitting, James. And quickly, do you think it's a hit or do you think it's a miss without going in depth?
It looks like it's going to be a hit. Significant hit.
I hope so as well. But we'll find out tomorrow, James. We'll find out tomorrow. Thank you so much for listening. Again, we appreciate you listening to us. And if you appreciate us making this amount of content, then give us a like, subscribe, go to patreon.com/FOTOreview to keep this engine going. And there's one thing left for us to do, and that is to drop it.
Drop it.
Drop it. F U T F F F U T F U T T T in view. F U